Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. This video is my second video in my look at Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. When 5th edition came out, it took a little bit from each of the previous editions, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th, and put it into this new edition with some new content. So it's got a little bit of something for everybody in it. So let's go ahead and get on with it. To play this game, you're going to need a copy of all three core rule books, which consist of the Player's Handbook, which we talked about in the last video, the Dungeon Master's Guide, which we will talk about in this video, and the Monster Manual, which we will also talk about in this video. You will also need a full set of dice, which consists of a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably two 10-sided dice for rolling percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. The Dungeon Master's Guide has 320 pages and a copyright of 2014. It was published by Wizards of the Coast. The artwork in this book, like in the Player's Handbook, is pretty good. I like it. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork.
When we first open the book, this is the first picture that we see. The book is in full color with some of the pictures taking up the entire page, while other pictures just take up a segment of the page.
The Dungeon Master's Guide has pretty much everything you need to run a Dungeons & Dragons game and maintain it and create content for it. The book itself is broken up into three parts. The first part is called Master of Worlds. The second part is called Master of Adventures, and the third part is called Master of Rules. The first part covers building the environment that you're going to be placing your player characters in. The world, the campaign setting, that kind of thing. The second part consists of building adventures for your characters to take part in. And it has the rules for creating NPCs that they might run into, encounters in the town, and dungeons, and so forth. It also has rules and charts for building treasure for your characters to acquire on their adventures, and awarding experience points to the players, and magical weapons and artifacts that you may reward to your characters with the treasure they find. The third part goes over the rules again, mostly combat, but it also deals with house rules and things that may come up during the game. Along with that, there's a section in this part for the game master to come up with optional rules to apply in his game. It has some stuff in it, the optional section, for using monsters from the Monster Manual as player character races, creating new races for your game, creating new classes and how to build the experience totals for them and stuff. It also has other optional rules for you to apply in your game if you wish to. Stuff like modern weapons, which is kind of neat, and also some sci-fi weapons, lasers and stuff, which is also really cool. But just a bunch of options for you to apply if you want. After the three parts, there are 4 appendixes. The first appendix is how to create a random dungeon. Different charts and stuff for you to place different things within your dungeon if you don't have anything prepared beforehand. The second appendix is different lists of monsters. It has lists for monsters based on environment and based off of encounter levels and stuff like that. The third appendix has a bunch of maps for you that you can use to have your characters adventure in. Some dungeons, wilderness, islands, that kind of thing. The fourth and final appendix in this book has some ideas for inspiration for the Dungeon Master. Different books that you can get ideas from, music, movies, that kind of thing. All in all, it's pretty good. It's got everything you need in this book to run and maintain the game. And that's all I'm going to say about the Dungeon Master's Guide for right now. So let's go ahead and move on to the Monster Manual. The Monster Manual has 352 pages and a copyright of 2014. It was also published by Wizards of the Coast. The artwork in this book is also pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at the artwork in this book.
Upon opening the book, this is the first picture that we see. All of the pictures in the book are in full color, with each monster getting its own picture. I have included a small selection of the monsters that can be found in this book.
The Monster Manual has all kinds of monsters in it that you can populate your environments with and have your player characters interact with or combat. It's not a complete and definitive list. There are other books with other monsters in it that you have in your game, but it has a large selection of monsters in the book for you to do a lot of stuff with. In the back of the book, there is 2 appendixes. The first appendix is miscellaneous creatures and has some lower powered creatures and common creatures that your players are most likely to run into. Horses, dogs, cats, living plants, stuff like that. The second appendix is a list of different NPCs that you could use in your game if you don't feel like coming up with your own. All in all, it's a very good book, and like I've said with the previous editions, if you want to play the game without the Monster Manual, you could. You can just have your characters encounter other races that are found in the player's handbook. But really, why? It's a fantasy game. You're going to want to populate your game with as many strange creatures as possible. So in my opinion, it's a must-have. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on 5th edition right now. So it brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? Yes, I would. I would love to play a character in 5th edition. It's a pretty good edition from everything I've read in it. Would I run this edition of Dungeons & Dragons? Yes, I would. And I have. It's a very good edition. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. If you haven't played 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons yet, you should. Give it a try. You'll probably like it. It is a very good apology for a lot of the stuff that they got wrong in 4th edition. I mean, I'm not trying to bash 4th edition, but the stuff they got right in 4th doesn't make up for a lot that they dropped the ball on. But 5th edition kind of makes up for all that. So that's all I'm going to say on 5th edition right now. Thank you for joining me at this quick look at 5th edition. I hope you join me in my next video where we'll talk about something else. Bye.